Welcome back. We're going to continue on from our last video where we started the VPLS config in iOS XE, and in this video we're going to continue and complete that. So let's move on to our next PE4, and first of all set the router ID of a layer 2, that is the loopback IP address of 11.0.0.4. Next, we're going to create a layer 2 VPN instance and a VFI, which is virtual forwarding instance, and give it a name. In this case, is the VRF name, and notice the typo here. The context name I've given is different spelled and what is on the topology, but as long as it's consistent within the config, it's fine. From the topology point of view, it's not an issue. So it sounds even cool. So let's stick with it and move on and define the VPN ID. So next in the task we define for the context is the VPN ID for this VPN, and that is going to be 300 as we set on the other PE. It's going to be 300, yes. So the next one, we're going to set the auto discovery of BGP and signaling, and then the VPLS endpoint ID, and that is going to be a number higher than last time we used, so call it 304. And then we can set the VPLS endpoint range, and we're going to set it to 100 and set a route target for the PE4. We're going to come out of the layer 2 VPN config and go into the bridge domain. So we're going to create a bridge domain that is going to stitch everything together, member interface, and we're going to then apply the VFI under the bridge domain. As we explained in our last video, the role of a bridge domain in the VPLS in the multi-point VPN. And finally, we're going to go under the interface that connects directly to CE and set the instance type, service instance for the Ethernet, and set the encapsulation that is default in this case. With our config now complete, let's start the verification, and we start from the PE2. We take a look of your layer 2 VPN VFI. As we can see in this output, that the virtual forwarding instance is up with the other PE. And let's take a look at some of the details that are interesting. We have the VFI name, state is up. We see that the type of the VPLS VFI is multi-point, and signaling is used as BGP. We have the VPN ID, the VPLS endpoint ID, and the VPLS endpoint size of the instance. So you can have 100, and we have the route target information. As you can see that the bridge domain attachment circuit we created there, and pseudo wire from the remote PE, and peer IP address of 11.0.0.4 with the VEID, and local and remote VPN labels are also listed in this output. So next we are going to go on to the CEs and see if we can test the reachability across the MPLS core, and to see if the end result is okay. So we're going to jump on to the CE1. And CE1 is on the right hand side, that is connected to the PE4. So the idea is that for this purpose, we're only going to use the normal ICMP ping and look at the ARP. So we're going to ping across to 192.168.3.22. That is the IP address on the interface directly connected to PE1 on the CE2. So it would appear that both CE1 and CE2 are directly connected using a switch or a wire. So let's jump onto the CE1 and test that connectivity across the MPLS core from the CE1. So we jump onto the CE1, and we're going to run the ICMP reachability just to test that first. So we're going to ping to 192.168.3.22, which is the IP address across on the CE2, and we see that we have reachability. And next we just to take a look, it'd be interesting to see how CE1 and CE2 are connected across. So we see the reachability, and we quickly going to run and just going to check. Let's take a look at the ARP table on the CE1 and see what it tells us. So here we see the ARP information on CE1. It shows that the IP address of 192.168.3.22, which is the CE2, is learned in the ARP of CE1, and that's the MAC address is listed, and it's via the directly connected interface. So see, and of 00. So as the CE1 would be directly connected to CE2. Thank you for watching the video, and I look forward to see you in the next video in the series.